Unado. This is the TCP, and this is our parliament, where we come to talk to each other, to talk to service providers, tell them our experiences so that they can improve services to us. If you don't buy MTN and you don't buy Zain and you don't buy Glo, they will not make any money. So, they need us, we need them. That is why NCC holds this forum. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TCP, Asaba, Delta State. The EVC will now give us his welcome address.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the 60th Telecom Consumer Parliament taking place in Asaba today that the Lord has made. The Consumer Affairs Bureau, also called CBA, of the Nigerian Communications Commission was established in September 2001 to inform, educate, and protect all the consumers of telecommunications services in Nigeria. Consequently, the Consumer Affairs Bureau has taken several initiatives that potentially ensures and guarantees that consumer interests are adequately protected. One of the initiatives is the Commission's outreach program, designed to bring awareness to the consumer through elaborate dissemination of information to discerning stakeholders. The outreach program is divided into the following three different categories. 1, Telecom Consumer Parliament, TCP, which is taking place in Asaba today. 2, Consumer Outreach Program, COP. And 3, Consumer Town Hall Meeting, CTM. The TCP is held in state capitals like Asaba, while the COP and CTM are held in major urban towns and rural communities respectively. To date, the Commission has held 59 editions of TCP, 34 editions of COP, and 3 editions of CTM. Incidentally, today's event is the 60th edition of Telecom Consumer Parliament. Thank you. The purpose of the Telecom Consumer Parliament is to provide an opportunity for interaction among the key stakeholders. The consumers, which are yourselves, which as far as we're concerned are the main stakeholders, the service providers, the regulator, and other interested parties, too numerous to mention here. TCP provides the platform to discuss topical issues in the industry so that the consumer is sufficiently empowered with knowledge and experience to take informed decisions concerning their preferences for services provided. Today, these initiatives have put the Nigerian telecoms consumer amongst the most protected and also the most informed when compared with consumers of other services. Promotions and lotteries by operators in the telecoms industry, the way forward, is a theme for today's discussion, which is considered to be of reasonable concern to the consuming stakeholder. The Commission is increasingly getting concerned about the feedbacks received from consumers on the so-called promotions. Though unsolicited methods, example, recorded messages and SMS. Needless to say that these methods of promotional activities have pervaded the environment such that clarification to the consumers and also to the general public is now required. But without prejudice to the panel discussion, I enjoin each person here to contribute actively. Your views will always be taken seriously and will help in developing regulatory interventions. While the Commission appreciates your contributions to the outreach program, it will even be more appreciated if you consistently apply the experience of this program to protecting your rights as consumers. Once more, thank you, and you're welcome to the 60th edition of Telecoms Consumer Parliament. Thank you very much.
Today, our discussion will center on trying to educate ourselves on what really is the promotion and what are the kinds of things we should do if we are referring to promotions.
To go straight to the point, promotions is a marketing tool used by almost any industry, every company, to draw attention to their products, to reward usage to their customers, to everybody, and also to drive sales. This is just that's the technical, simple definition of a promotion. Everybody does it.
In marketing, there are about 4 items. You have the price, you have promotion, you have distribution, and you have the product. So in trying to market whether goods or services, you need these 4 things. Whether the product is good, etc., etc. So you need to put forward to be able to make it attractive to customers. As you promote your products or your service, you intend to drag people to attract people to your own brand. So in a nutshell, that's what I have to add.
Could you tell us what you think, from your perspective, we have today, what we will see today from the operators on promotions?
Just to answer your question, I think that the sales promotions today as we have them, some of them are geared towards gambling, are geared towards lottery, they are geared towards gimmicks. For us, what's important is that a sales promotion should be transparent. As the Consumer Protection Council, we insist that it should be transparent. It should not be intended to deceive the public. And when a consumer enters into such sales promotions as advertised, and if he wins, his reward or what was promised should be given to him.
We at Glo have our promotions done in a transparent way. When we do these promotions, draws are usually done monthly. This is system generated, and then we have people around there. The press are there. Consumers are also there. Once the winner emerges, a call is placed to that person, and as such, everything is televised. The trip is done, and then also incentivize the customers, especially when they went to UK. Now, when a promo is on, the attitude of Nigerians, they don't read. Once you put something on a leaflet and they see it on the street, or in the banks or anywhere they need to pick it up, they don't read it. The terms and conditions apply, they don't follow it. And as such, when it doesn't come to them, they say it's a game. That is why I say I don't totally agree with that.
For Etisalat, we are young in the industry, and I can tell you that all the sales activities we have done that looks like promos are actually promos as they are intended to reward the consumers. The promo we're running presently, the 25 kobo per second call, it's all at a discount. It's all a reward.
Basically, in StarComs, all the promotions we are running are to reward patronage and royalty on our brand. And our promotions most times are geared towards addressing the peculiar segment we are servicing. For instance, For the commercial call makers, we have a Boyo loyalty scheme for them, where at a minimum recharge per month, you get certain monetary rewards credited in form of airtime, credited to your funds. In this industry, apart from us providing the services and the network, we equally work with third parties, which are the value-added service providers. I want to read out an SMS I got. This is from Xmas Promo. That's the name. It says, text ball to 35140 to win 100,000 naira cash this Xmas. Each text qualifies you to win a mega Christmas promo. MTN, Zen, Glo, Etisalat, other networks are supported. 100 naira SMS. Looking at this, definitely the 4 providers mentioned in this text I got are not part of this. Because there's no way that 4 of them could decide to run a promotion at the same time. So we have to have a distinction between the promos that originate from us, the providers, and promos that originate from the third parties.
Presently, we have a promo that is ongoing. We don't have a lottery. It's called Yellow Bounty Promo, and we reward the customer instantly. We have direct marketers on the field, and also at our customer touch points. As the customer recharge, they are immediately rewarded.
Promos are typically used to test the market, to know if what people want. You can't have 15 million people on your network and you really know what everybody wants. So we use it to retain people, to drive usage, and to do whatever business, to achieve whatever business objective we've set for ourselves. So currently, for instance, we've got a scratch and win promo going on. It is your normal usage. If you scratch your recharge card and you find an electric iron under it, it's yours. You still have your 1,000 naira RCV to talk. As to the lotteries, just to quickly talk about that, we did run some lottery-based campaigns, and we got all the appropriate clearances. Between March and July, we did what we call Wake Up a Millionaire. It's a lottery-based campaign. It was for fun. And like I told you, there's an aim. We maybe will just want to engage our consumers. The consumers send a text to a short code, 222, and get billed 100 naira. And they stand a chance for winning 2 million every day, or 10 million at the end of a week.
Is there anything the consumer gets for 200 naira, aside from the chance to win?
Yeah, well, in our own case, you look at it that we have, running on top of all our products, we have what we call the rewards program. So your 100 naira, you still win, you accumulate points. We have a loyalty program that is running. So there's nothing you spend on our network.
I think there are 2 different programs.
No, there are
now, this other one is 100 naira. It's targeted as you winning 2 million naira at some point with chance.
Yes, that
luck.
Is a lottery.
So that one is a lottery.
That's it.
But it's running on your.
Yeah, we did run that lottery.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Glo, you also had Text for Millions. Would you describe it as a promo, as a reward scheme, or a lottery?
Text for a Million was a promo, was an activity we had on the network. We wanted to see how we can reward our customers. It wasn't a lottery, but a promo. I'm sure the subscribers will quite agree with that.
All right, at this point, hello parliamentarians. Glo Text for Million. Was it a promo? Was it a lottery? You asked the question, you have your answer. At this point, I think I'd like to call on the Lottery Commission to tell us what they think the operators have been running.
When this discussion started, it was like issue of somebody who went through somebody's farm and picked a piece of yam. And he said, I didn't steal. I took a yam there. But was the yam given to him? How do you define stealing? You see, we started by saying terms and condition. Terms and condition, I know we'll come to that, which the people did not even know of. and they tell you go to website and go and look at it, which they don't even have access to, how do they know the terms and conditions of what they are doing? Having said that, I want us to look at this issue of reward, promo, and lottery. Everywhere in the world, when you talk about reward is given to you for your loyalty. And when you get a reward, you don't pay extra for it. You draw from your loyalty. But by the time you now begin to pay extra to get something in return, it's no longer reward for anything. So if they now come to say what we are doing is reward for loyalty, it begins to make one feel that the people who are participating in it don't have common sense. It's even worse when this chance game is based on premium price. If I send a text, I can send a text for 15 naira. In some networks, 5 naira. And now I need to pay 100 naira to participate in a so-called reward program. Then it's no longer, that's what we call lottery. Today you hear 50 cars in 50 days, 30 cars in 30 days. If I ask questions around this room, who knows somebody who knows somebody?
Hello?
Maybe the cars were not meant to be driven on Nigeria roads. We'll come back to that later. Thank you very much, madam.
Are you saying that none of you know anybody who has won something? We would like to believe that, yes, you must be honest parliamentarians here and that you really don't know anybody. But again, we would like to think that the operators themselves must have given out some prizes. But let me give the opportunity to maybe one or two of the operators to just respond to what we've just heard. Because we just had the kinds of promos and what we think you're running.
Promotion is entirely different from a loyalty scheme. And as a matter of fact, we as MTN, we've been trying to communicate that also in our various communication material. We didn't do win 30 cars in 30 days. We don't do that. And most of the time when we are doing our draws, we invite the regulatory authority.
I think a couple of issues are coming out here. Let's raise the discussion. And permit me, you talked about perception first. And from what I saw in the room also, there's that perception that it's not a transparent, there's some wuru-wuru going on. All right? Then there's the issue of redemption of prizes, okay? And presentation. You've mentioned it that maybe people are called there. And somebody also mentioned the issue of spam, where there are also funny things going on the network, and it's not anybody's, it's not entirely controlled. Then you mentioned communication. How is the entire process run? We've cleared the fact that, okay, a lottery is going on. But first and foremost, and you mentioned it, a lottery is a legitimate business. Secondly, people run lotteries without even using the mobile phone. The mobile phone, like I mentioned before, we are just a transport network. We carry your voice, we carry your data, we carry your picture. I like to say it's like money. Money makes a good man better and a bad man worse. If you want to play a lottery, and we send text 222 to this number, you may win 2 million naira. First and foremost, I mean, since for education's sake, you are an adult, you know, you opt in. They never take the money out of your pocket. So it's like if you open the newspapers yesterday, there's a lottery going on right now. By this day, Owando and Oko, you buy your normal newspaper, you open it, and they tell you, buy a ticket of 50 naira. It's not the newspaper anymore. And you can win a car in 50 days. They're running it right now. Now, that is a medium. It's a newspaper. We are also a medium. Somebody comes to us and he wants to run an advert. He can run an advert on our network. That is legitimate business. What we do, we go to the regulatory bodies and inform the NCC and we inform the Lottery Commission.
My colleague here has said and admitted that they were running a promo. Or rather, a promo at a premium, which is a lottery. And they got approval from the Lottery Commission. You know, so that's different from, in my own opinion, that is different from when you are running a promotion at the normal SMS rate. Because the definition of a promo, of a lottery, is the lottery is a chance for a prize, a prize for a price, which means you paid. You paid for, you used your money to pay for it and you didn't get, or you stood a chance to get or not to get.
Is it a consumer benefit thing or is it a revenue generation
It is a consumer
thing?
benefit because they take 20%. Excuse me, sorry, I'm coming. I am coming. It is indeed. Let me just explain what I mean. Let me explain what I mean. Okay. You know, for the
because
consumer,
the people that you're doing it
no,
for,
I need to explain. Let me explain.
Explain what it is.
Parliamentarians, please don't get me wrong. What I mean is, you see, in the guidelines of NLRC, Lottery Commission, you may not know it, but once you get their permit, you're going to pay 20% of your proceeds. All that, I know. You're going to pay 20% of that to them. Whatever they do with it, we don't know. But they say it is for good cause.
You act as transport. If you're acting as transport, then why is it that it's your name that is there and not the name of the third party?
In the telecommunication value chain, most of the time the network acts as a transport.
For the current promos and lotteries, are you acting as transport,
we don't
or you're acting as lottery?
Presently, we don't have a lottery going on my network. Thank you.
In rounding up, I wanted to ask one of us: what do we need? What do we think we need to do to clear this feeling, this perception that consumers have? What can we do way forward?
Let the consumer be aware and be informed that any promotional activity by any operator where he is expected to pay a premium on any of the services offered by that operator is a lottery.
From the side of the operator, I believe we should improve on our communication.
Thank you.
To distinguish what we are doing. Because when the consumers are informed, they will not make mistake in entering for whatsoever it is, whether it is a lottery or a promotion. Also, I will take this back to my organization. We need to engage more in terms of local languages, vernacular material. So many of us, we don't know that it's important that we communicate in pidgin.
3 things we need to quickly do. I think the transparency part, we need to sort that out so that it will be very clear in everybody's minds this is how it works, especially for redemption of prizes. I'm sure if you see the people winning it and using the product or so, you like that. He's mentioned communication already. It's very critical. Effective communication, we'll work on that. And spam, though we didn't go into it, but we currently have already started the process, and in about 3 to 6 months' time, when we are through with our project, you should be spam proof as in our network. Airtel is already working on that.
I need to clarify something. My colleague had mentioned that every service that is charged at a premium is a lottery. That is not entirely correct, because there are something that is called premium services, vast value-added services, multimedia, which the payment, if you send photographs and things like that, or maybe do a lot, the charges are different from what you get for lottery. Thank you.
I think we have been able to really distinguish between promo, loyalty, and lottery. But the fact remains, because we were talking 2 days ago, and I'm sure, Madam, you are surprised to know that the transport has become the driver. Because when I said some of them, because at times when they come for this, the question we ask is, should they participate? Of course, legally speaking, they are qualified to. Because the act says, if you are a fit and proper person, and you have enough money to run lottery. So we give them the license to do lottery business. The idea of operators now saying these messages are spam messages, they are not coming from us, is very, very worrisome. Because the fact remains, when a dead man is found in the compound of one man, who is the first suspect? The owner of the house. So if I get 2 days ago, we were at the judges' conference organized by NCC, very good one. While we were there, one of the judges got a text message from Airtel to say $6,000 is waiting for you. Not that you could win. It's waiting for you. and then ask him to text something to one code to claim his money. Of course, when you came, the language changed, that you may win. If people get the message of say, you may win, you could win, they know that chance is there. But when you now say, tonight is your night, just text one and you get there. Then begin to confuse everybody. Thank you very much.
The most important thing for us here is that the consumers, please, 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 don't be gullible. You can reach NCC on 0800, call NCC. So I think at this point, I'd like to just say thank you very much for all your contributions to this segment. And I believe that you've all enjoyed the responses from the consumers who are here, and that you will take them back and do something about them. And parliamentarians, thank you for your wonderful contributions as well. Thank you.
Most of these promo are they are fraudulent. Because when they tell you to do this, they do that. I don't know when you try to apply or participate in the promo, I don't know, you don't get anything. The next time you see another promo coming out, they keep on changing the goalposts at every minute.
Many of them is fake. They are not helping at all. It's fake. They are just using it in order to get money from people. So I don't think it's true.
Promotion and lottery is all about encouraging people, making people to get connected, and at the same time promoting their own service. That is the communication sector.
I think of most of them as scams. Initially, I always think of them as government-supported fraud. You understand? Because in most cases, I've not seen anybody that have won it before. Nobody that is close to me. And sometimes I also check it as it's like they are using some of the ambassadors, people they tagged ambassador of them to win some of these promos and some of these promotions to support themselves. I don't think it has anything to do with the public.
Initially, I was thinking that it was in the connection with government. But if they don't allow them, they will not be doing all sorts of promo every now and then. And the government will not come out and say, stop this. And the government is aware that they are using this promo to defraud Nigerians. But most of us, we are good at all this awoof of a thing. But when they now see it now, everybody want to get rich quick, and they will not participate, and at the end they get nothing to show for it.
People say they are real, but to me they are not real, because I've not seen any of my friends or any of my colleagues in their any of them winning something.
Well, to my own understanding, some of them are not real, but some are real. Because there was a friend of mine who was scammed some few cash, as in terms of sending him recharge card and the rest. So some of them are real, while some are not real. Let's put it that way.
I think promotions are this lottery. I think they are doing fine. They are helping the company to grow more higher in promotion and in advertisements. They are trying to show how corporates, how relevant they are for the use of migrants.
One thing I want them to do is just for them to be transparent, let them be real in whatever they're doing. But to me, I don't believe in it, because no GSM company can tell me to do something and I'll do it, because I don't think they are real. That's the only thing I know.
Basically, Nigerian government should just stop them from deceiving Nigerians.
Let them know how to communicate with this MTN and other network. Let them know what to do about it. So it's their duty to do something.
What they need to do is to secure that aspect of it so as to reduce fraud in our society.
Is it also possible for you, on your own path, to send out a text message prior to promotional or lottery activities, advising consumers that if they wish to receive promotional or lottery activities within a specified period, could they come back to you and say yes or no?
Yes, we can actually do that. But it's just like also sending those text messages to you. And you say, why are they sending this to me? I don't have to reply. So it's a personal decision thing. We can say today,
we're sorry, we apologize for network inconveniences, this, that. And somebody in Meduguri will tell you, I didn't experience anything. Why are they sending this to me?
Each time I have a problem with your network connection and I want to reach your customer service center, they will play music for a very, very, very long time. Your battery will run down, you charge and charge again, and you still cannot reach them.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but we also have to understand that we have a lot of people calling into the call center. And when you call in, you're expected to be on a queue. That is when you hear that music. We have situations where we have prank callers. Some people will call you and tell you, I'm just bored at home, I need somebody to talk to. We record over 1 million calls every day to our call center, and you'll be amazed that over 70% of them are just prank calls. Some will say, lady, I like your voice. What's your name? Where do you stay? Can I take you out for a drink? And these are the people who delay calls, who makes it impossible for you to reach you who have the original and genuine problem, to reach us for us to resolve them.
If you want to retrieve your line, actually, before, when we want to retrieve your line, you just go call them and give them the data they need, and they'll provide it. But now, they keep on asking questions, asking the last, what you recharge last, the best number you called. I don't know why such question goes on, sir.
In our society today, we have a lot of fraudulent people. I need proof of ownership. I need to ask those questions because these lines are personal to you. So that when I ask you those questions that are very dear, how much was your last recharge? You could remember that an uncle sent you a 750 recharge card, a 1,000 naira recharge card, and you used it. Meanwhile, a friend might be used to you loading 200 naira and won't know that question. So we need to ascertain the originality of ownership.
Glow State charges me 48 naira to other network and almost 36 naira to others. They never changed my platform, despite repeated calls.
I think we've been using the line since 2003, and ever since then, Glow has brought up a lot of packages which you're free to migrate from. Now, currently, we have 4 different packages that you can choose based on your usage. We have more classic, we have more prime, we have more business, and we have more power. Now, depending on your usage, you can now migrate to whichever one that suits your usage. I should think that after this program, you can meet me, I can assist you. Based on your usage, I can assist you to migrate to the current package that will suit your purpose. Thank you.
And on MTN, please, it's not funny. It's paining me. It's very painful. With the so-called business line. They promised me I'll be accessing my CDR, called detail recordings, on the net. I will go on the net. Whether you use 20 meg to access it, you will not access. I have not seen. No itemized billing. Nothing.
Yes, you actually can. And I also want to get some questions clear to know if you have registered for eCare and have a password. If you have and you still encounter these problems, please feel free to come into the office in Asaba or wherever you are, and we'll definitely address that issue.
If you're using an old line that you've used for quite probably 5 years above with the recent line, you might find that the service tools differ. And I don't know, why is it that your old lines are not being upgraded with the same service tools?
If your SIM is 5 years and above, definitely it should be a 16K SIM, which will not be able to carry out present-day activities or present-day SIMs. You need to come and have a swap on that SIM for you to enjoy that.
Now, a friend of mine, I was seated next to him, wanted to upload the internet facility, and he called the customer care. Funny enough, he wanted uploading 3,000 naira, which that's for the internet services. And that has to do with a code that has to be given to him. Now, he called the customer care, and fortunately or unfortunately for him, she gave him a different code, which was for 1,000 naira. Now, when they called back, someone else picked the call. And, it was like towing from here to there. Why should it be so?
Everybody has issues. We do our best to ensure that we train, all our agents and representatives that answer your calls. However, most of them, for one reason or the other, maybe didn't check properly, maybe had something else on his mind, maybe was distracted, might give you the wrong information. What we now do to check some of those things, we have our quality assurance operatives who are there to listen in on calls. Now, and if such people are caught or found out, they are corrected, they are trained, they face disciplinary actions depending on what has to be done. So we do that for all our calls.
I bought a line, say business link. So I don't receive call, but I make calls.
That is basically how that line operates. The business line is not meant to receive calls. The one that we have, the Enough Yarn package.
There's a kind of, will I call it a tariff plan you people are doing, that you deduct 20 naira from people's line every day for low call tariff. Some time ago, I recharged my Etisalat line. Just for that, they deducted 20 naira, and after making call, I was still having about 105 naira in my SIM. Then I left the SIM for 5 days. I didn't use it. After 5 days, when I tried to use it, the 100 naira was out of it. So I was wondering why, how.
Basically, it's just part of what they discussed here. You have the option to opt in and to opt out. Now, the opt-in tells you you're charged 20 naira per day, whether you travel to Kano, Maiduguri, Zamfara, or even out of the country. However, you have the option to opt out if you know you will be in an area where you would not receive service or you will not be using your line. You have the code. You can either call the call center, but quite easily it's just *220 *2 and hash. That gets you out of that promo. You're not charged 20 naira any longer. Whenever you decide to go back in, you just dial *220 1 hash and you're back on Easy Life again.
I wanted to make night call. That night I recharged my account. That very night around 1 a.m. I recharged 100 naira. As I was making the call, I just had 1 minute remaining. I checked my account balance. It was 26 naira.
Find a way to come to the office. I will check and then compensate you.
As on my other SIM, if I want to send message, it will tell me message failed. So I want to know why.
A number of reasons. One could be that your message center number on your phone is not correct or has been tampered with.
The problem I have is this. In the month of February, I moved into town to do some business with offices scattered all over Delta State. And based on the fact that you told us that you have some internet service, I went to your office and bought 11 modem. And as I speak today, those modem, and in fact, besides buying that, I have to buy system for all the offices that will use this, because I have offices in Umune, Staple, and a host of other places. But for God's sake, those modem are completely useless to us. You cannot access internet with them. When you call their office, they will tell you, please, there's one thing, just hold on. But I do business every day. In fact, what you just deceived me into spending such amount of money. Right now, I have to go back to local to begin to communicate with ordinary telephone to carry on my business.
First, modems are very expensive, and 11 of them is a lot of money. I'm going to help you sort it out. My name is Jane. I work in Zen Shop in Asaba here. I'll give you my numbers. I'm going to help you sort out every issue you have with the modems. But I need a list of the cities. I need a list of the locations where they are, and then we'll determine what exactly is wrong with them. I'll help you out. You're going to enjoy the service. Yeah.
And then for the Lotto commission. You see, I'm so scared because I'm a lawyer. I know that when you want to register your company, you have to state precisely what you want to do with the company. But when you allow these telecommunication people to go into lottery, it's a very different thing. Because we're going to, in fact, I am thinking that when I get home, I'm going to look at the laws and challenge this whole process. Because Nigerians are gullible. They are just making us go into things that we ought not to do naturally. there are a lot of people who will not play lottery. But yet, because it's coming from your communication system, people are just playing lottery. And I am so convinced that you don't even have records of what these mobile telephone guys are collecting from the people. Because you need to publish that for us to see. If you're actually collecting such amount of money, I am sure this whole issue of saying our roads are bad and the other thing will have sufficient money from this people because they make a whole lot of money. So say send 100 naira. I have a problem where I migrated in one of these Zen system and I said I should be paying 1,500 every month. I will reduce my call rate and all that. After about 2 weeks, they would send me a text that your money has expired. I should go and pay. And that I went to the office once and they told me, please, it is just, sorry, it's a random thing. They just send text randomly to everybody. And the other thing, they will say, look, you are now approaching this amount of money per second. And then when they tell you that one, after you go and recharge more, you recharge more. After recharging more, they will send the same text message to you 2 weeks later. It is all stories and stories and stories. The only thing is that we are grateful that we have them around. But there's too much fraud in the business.
The fact remains that the law as it is today does not exclude anybody. The guidelines given is to the effect that if you are a fit and proper person to run the business of lottery, if the commission is convinced that you have enough money, because we know a situation where it will come to issue of payment and then you cannot pay, makes provision for what we call price fund, that the money must be put in a fund. So at the end of the day, there will be no excuse of we were badly hit and we couldn't pay. Initially, when we started this business of lottery with most of these operators, we told them, what you are doing is lottery. They said it's not lottery. Some of them ran to the court to say, court should stop us from interfering with what they are doing. But that is history now. Those who went to court, they are back from court. Now we are talking. And we are monitoring what they are doing. We are regulating what they are doing. And part of what we have as our agenda as a commission is to have a monitoring system whereby whatever they are running will be run on a short code that we can monitor from our office. At the end of the day, we'll be able to say what they did. And if we know that operator A made 20 million from a particular promo, we expect that 10 million should go back to the people as prizes. We will expect that 20% of that too will go to the trust fund to be used for good causes.
There was an issue of charging for SIM upgrade. And I was wondering, why are they charging for SIM upgrade? Because from what I understand, you may please explain further if there is any need for that. It's an old user, an old customer who has been on your network for so long, and the SIM is not working properly, and he has a problem with it, and you're doing a SIM swap, and he has to pay 150 to do that. He's not buying a new SIM, and the problem is not due to his fault. There's a SIM problem, and I think from here I was picking up some comments which said, where is loyalty? If this customer has been on your network since you were Econet, or was it MTN? Yes, okay, you have always been MTN, So I don't think that is really right. And then I think it's also MTN that mentioned that some people with problems should come to their office. I questioned why come to the office. Why must they pay to come to your office? Why don't you call them and sort out the problem? Except there's a difficulty with that, because that's part of what we're talking about. They don't have to come to the office if they can avoid it. And then the last one was on disclosure. That the fact that you can opt into a promo, you don't need to advertise the opt-out. I think these are the terms and conditions that we talked about. If you tell me that I can play this, you must tell me how to get out of it as well. The opt-in and opt-out options must be disclosed fully, so consumers know ab initio as they enter into those promotions.
We want to also say that the issue of proof of ownership, I will advise us as regulators, NCC, I know that you have this issue with National Assembly on the SIM registration issue. We will need to hasten it up, because it will not only help us to solve the problem of criminals and kidnappers. As we have seen, this issue of proof of ownership, they will not be asking the young boy who came to ask questions more questions. They will simply look into their records if the SIM card is registered. And on the issue of modem that MTN answered, I will say to MTN that problem is also there on your fast link issue. We have it so much, and I hope that you will look into it here as well. I want to associate myself, of course, with our sister, Mrs. Mapurea, on what you said. Every issue that you said about why come to the office, it's correct. You should try and reach your consumers. Why swap with 150? It is not right. It's either you call it is another name, but certainly not swap. If you are swapping, then it should be the same. In 2001, in fact, in Lagos, it was Zain that started before MTN. And if my old line, which I'm still using, is suffering that problem, honestly, I will have a case with Zain. I want to thank you on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You see, your interests are well taken care of by the NCC and the Consumer Protection Agency. So either way, we're safe. Okay. I believe we have to wind down now, and it's time to invite the EVC, who is here represented by the Executive Commissioner, Stakeholders Management.
With the situation in this country, as we go along, competition is going to get more, it's going to get stiffer. We have operators now that are driving the market. They're small operators, one or two that are driving the market. So I want to state here that the operator must appreciate its customers. Because there's nothing like an operator giving rewards, pampering its customers, making sure that the customer is happy with the service that the operator provides. Let me, on behalf of the Commission, thank the operators for being here. We've had a very interesting parliament today, and we look forward to NCC partnering with our operators and, of course, our consumers to take the telecom industry to the next level. Let me assure you that NCC will continue to protect the interest of all our stakeholders, especially our consumers, because we're here to serve Nigerians, and Nigerians are consumers. We're also here to serve operators, but we do not want a situation where the consumers are oppressed, manipulated, or cheated, or whatever you might want to call it. So once more, we thank you, and we look forward to you answering us the next time we invite you. On behalf of the EVC, I pray that the Almighty God will grant us journey mercies to our various destinations. And for some of us who are traveling out of town, we pray that you arrive at your destinations safely. Thank you once more. Hello, parliamentarians. Thank you, and have a good night.
Parliamentarians, I propose that we adjourn. Is this motion seconded? Thank you.